everybody, this is Bobby with bobbystamps.blogspot.com, and I'm going to show you how I made this cute fall card. I know I should be focusing on Christmas, but I seen this watercolor technique done and I really wanted to try it before time ran out. So this will probably be my last fall card that I'll do, focusing on Christmas. So we're going to use, the ink pads we're going to use is Rich Razzleberry and Pumpkin Pie. And the stamp sets are Vintage Leaves, and our sentiment is from Teeny Tiny Wishes. And then I went ahead and cut out using the oval framelits, and I used the largest one in the pack, and I cut it out on watercolor paper. So that's what we're actually going to stamp our design on. I used the Whisper White earlier and I did not like the way that it bled through, so I'm going to use the watercolor paper. So our base is Pumpkin Pie, and this is just your standard A2. It's 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4, and it's going to open this way. And then we're going to use the piece of designer series paper from the Brights collection, and this one is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to use one of the tea lace doilies, and then like I said, we have the watercolor paper, and then you're going to need a strip of Whisper White for the sentiment, and then another piece of Rich Razzleberry for the sentiment. And then we're also using the Very Vanilla ribbon on this card too. And then we're also going to use, I can never remember the name of this, I'll have it in on my blog on the supply list, but that's what we're punching out the sentiment with. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm going to throw a piece of scrap paper down. We'll just open up both of our ink pens, and you will need the little water pen. So we'll just open both of those up, and the way I did it the first time was I used the stamp set, or this leaf, and I just went ahead and did like a big leaf in the middle with the Rich Razzleberry, cleaned it, and then we're just going to come in the opposite direction with the Pumpkin Pie. Like that. Okay. Then we'll use the next largest one and do the same thing in Rich Razzleberry. And we're just going to put it probably right there, right beside the Pumpkin Pie. And then go in with the Pumpkin Pie and do it on the side with the Rich Razzleberry. I'm just trying to get the colors distributed evenly. And then we'll use the smaller leaf, and the same thing, I'm just going to put one right there and clean that, and then just go in with Pumpkin Pie, and we'll put one, and you can't help when you're just using two colors but to get two colors right beside each other, but that's fine. Let me go ahead and just close these up until we need to do the sentiment. And then we're just going to take the Aqua Painter, that's the name of it, I couldn't think of it earlier, and you just make sure that you have water in the chamber, and then you just go in and move that ink around. And then I just clean it off a little bit before I go in with the Rich Razzleberry. And I can tell you, I already like and can tell the difference in using the watercolor paper versus Whisper White. It's just holding on to the color better, I think. The paper's not bowing up like it did with the Whisper White either. And then if you wanted to lighten it up, you could just keep going back in. But I'm happy with that. Put our lid back on the Aqua Painter. And now the card's going to go together super quick. So we will just take, let me go ahead, I have my mat, and we'll just go ahead and do our sentiment. And I like to pop mine out and then stamp it. So we've got our piece of Whisper White. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop one out of the Rich Razzleberry. And then we'll ink this up. The sentiment says Happy Thanksgiving. And we'll just ink that up in Rich Razzleberry. This is kind of going to be hard for me to see. And then just go straight down and up. Oops. And then what I do, if I want a layering look, and this is the same size as what the sentiment's on. I don't know what I did with my snips. Oh, here they are. Okay. I just cut it in two. And then grab my snail. And we can just put snail right along the back of there. And then you just have to be careful when you're lining this up that nothing's showing here. And you can go in with your snips if you have to, and that you're putting the same width on each end. So let's just kind of it's kind of hard to do, so you got to be patient with it. I think that looks pretty good. And if you do have a little bit showing, you can just trim it up like that with your snips. Okay, now we can move this out of the way, and we'll grab our ribbon, and we're just going to cut a piece off there, and I did it towards the bottom, and then we'll just take our tape, line it up there, hold that down, and grab some snail. And then we'll just center this on the base of the card, like so. And then I just took another piece and started making my bow. And I just leave it on the roll, so that way I know, I don't pre-cut and then have to go back and if I cut it too short, because I've done that before. That's never a good thing. Okay. Pull that side just a little bit more, I think. And then we'll just cut these. I like to cut mine at an angle. Didn't get that one quite as an angle, but it'll be okay. Okay. And then use a glue dot. We're just going to put this right on the center of the card like so. And while I have the glue dots out, these are really good for the doily, or you can use snail, either one. On the design card I used snail and it was fine. And then if you do want to put it around the edges, you can just do like I'm doing and choose the bigger sections of the tea leaf. Or the doily. I guess it's not a tea leaf, I don't know where that came from. Okay. That just kind of helps it lay down, especially if you're going to put it in an envelope. You don't have to worry so much about it ripping if you get the corners of it. Okay, and then let's go ahead and you can see how that's going to look right there. we will take our sentiments and use some snail. And we're just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna pop that up. I used dimensionals on the other one. I liked the way that looked. So I'm just gonna use the pieces that are around the outside, the leftovers. Like that. And any of you guys out there that take my classes, I just posted a new one. If you're interested after this video, you can go to my blog. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com, and the class is The Star of Light. And I'm working on my next one, which I can't remember now which stamp set, what the exact name of it is. The Pines. That's going to be my next one. So I'm working on that one as well. If you're signed up for my other classes, the Hang Your Stocking and Paisley and Posey's class, that I should be getting that in the mail this week. I'll repackage everything up and hopefully have them in the mail. I'm going to shoot for Thursday, but for sure by Friday. And there you guys go. Cute fall card. So just visit my blog for all the measurements in the supply list. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. Thanks, guys.